All righty, folks, rates are up. And as I said on the daily financial news this morning, I said on Twitter or X, I frankly hope we stay above 7% for a while being 3 or 4 months. The housing market is broken. I did not like how the housing market reacted when rates were at 6.5. It was getting nutty again, and we do not need that. So let's remind ourselves when rates go to 7, demand falls away. What does that mean? Let's have a conversation with Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Mike. And before I jump into it and talk about, rates and my advice and what you should be doing in this market, I'm going to implore you to do. I just got to say, what an event last weekend. There was not anybody I talked to who wasn't just blown away. And I do a lot of these. Some
Yeah.
people probably, are like they've been to an event or two. That was really cool just because they're not used to networking with a bunch of like-minded people. I probably do it 8 or 10 times a year. And I can honestly say one of the best events I've ever been to. Because like you said, it wasn't necessarily Mike Zuber. It wasn't necessarily Matt, the mortgage guy, or others speaking on stage. It was the collaboration of the attendees.
Mm-hmm.
It was magic. And I know it from going to events. I might see Tony Robbins or Gary Vaynerchuk or somebody on stage. They don't affect me and my business and all that as much as the guy I talked to who's doing it at a high level in Florida gave me some ideas. We maybe created a friendship where we're texting and helping each other back and forth. Like truly magical event. And the touch of giving somebody a championship belt. I walked into the office like this on Monday, by the way. And I was thinking to myself, I might look ridiculous, but I feel like $1 million. I feel like a world champ. So
that is awesome.
You know what my buddy said when I sent him a picture? I got a group of, a bunch of different business owners and stuff that I network with. And I sent him this picture and they said, Matt, you got to find a pair of pants with big enough belt loops where this can just be a daily wear.
Texas got big buckles. Yeah. Got to be out there.
Thank you for the championship belt. It was a pleasure and honor to be part of that. But, back to the topic of, mortgage applications are down 8% week on week. Rates are back up over 7%. For a lot of people, you hear those headlines and they're framed in a way like this is a negative thing. I believe that this is the biggest blessing if you're an investor or you're in the market to buy, because what stories did we hear in January? Oh my gosh, it's January. It's already so hot. Right? It was listed at $599. My client went in, removed all contingencies at $620 and didn't get it. I have bare examples where the numbers are 7 figures and they're not getting it, multiple 6 figures above ask. That's not what you want.
I don't want that. I mean, I want people to hear me. I don't like that behavior. The housing market is broken. We don't need it to get more broken. We already learned. We learned with clarity. 6.5% brings out stupidity on the demand side. We want rates to be at 7 for months. We need this thing to freaking cool off. To your point, if it does, there's going to be a couple of opportunities out there, not perfect properties, horrible pictures, days on market, all the stuff that you and I talked about in December, all the stuff that you and I talked about last December, in January, in February. The housing market and the lending market, they are two different animals. When the lending market gets tight, opportunities come over here. Do the work.
100%. And that's the thing too. I was on a call this morning, going to an event like the ORAT 50K subscriber celebration, always, for me at least, and I think for a lot of others, it gets you recharged and re-energized. And all of a sudden I'm like, I had this conversation over the weekend. Man, I've been part of a lot of cool stories. I've helped people, build a bunch of cool portfolios. I got to continue to add to mine. I can't forget about what I'm doing for my family and my legacy and whatnot. And so, this is a piece of advice for everybody. And we saw it in real life this weekend. There is so many different ways to win. Winning looks different to everybody. Some people, it's Gary, Indiana, and Millennial Mike makes that work. For others, it's Dion with, a lot of focus around a smaller portfolio that does exactly for him what he wants. Whatever you do, do it well and figure out the strategy you want to employ. Because I got back and I started thinking to myself, you know what? Like, I don't know if I've got a well enough defined game plan. And that's where
I
it
like that.
starts.
Right.
Had some great conversations this morning. I'll say it out loud because maybe it'll help me be more accountable. I've got multiple people who I know who are in sober living, investing on the real estate side.
Okay.
And I had a conversation this morning with a friend of mine. I said, listen, the numbers are attractive, but for me, like a lot of things I do in my mortgage business, having positive impact is something that pays me in another way. And
Right.
so the thought of having real estate assets that appreciate, monthly cash flow, and knowing that I'm providing clean, safe housing for somebody who's in the beginning stages of a comeback story. For people that haven't heard mine, I was in a comeback story of my own 2011 to present. Like, that's really cool. So what you do, what doing the work means is, okay, get really clear. What does that look like? Conversation I had this morning, really savvy investor who says, Matt, I'd love to partner with you. What does it all look like? What does this look like? How are rents? How is it going to look like to acquire a property and maybe do some rehab and set it up for something like this?
Yeah.
All of these things need to be answered in advance. I need to do hours and hours and weeks and months of work in order to be in a position to know when a good opportunity presents itself. Because if I was the me of a decade ago, I would say, oh, this is something that a wholesaler brought us at 405. We could rehab it for this much. It's going to be, 5-bedroom, 3 baths. If we put so many beds in there, we could get this in rents. It's not a 15-minute analysis, right?
Right.
It's hours and weeks and months of getting really clear and detailed. And maybe the first one we do will just be a single. It won't be the best deal in the world, but that's okay. Before that singles even hit, there's going to be a lot of time spent, swinging the bat, getting practice in.
Right. Yeah. I want to switch gears on you. We didn't prep for this, but I like taking right turns because, hey, it's my show.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to be interviewed by Sean Cannell. Why don't you kind of talk about that? I think he gave you kind of an outline of the 10 things you wish you knew, hit a couple of those, but I also like how you twisted it because I've seen the interview on him and got some coaching from the man, myth, the legend, Sean Cannell himself. So talk about that experience.
Oh man, that was just pure gold for somebody who accidentally stumbled onto YouTube and, created content and a channel. Talking to Sean Cannell, Think Media, somebody who does it at the highest level was pure gold. It's like I'm a high school basketball player. They're like, hey, you want to talk to Michael Jordan about how he's doing things?
Yeah.
And so I talked about my journey and the 10 things I wish I knew because I started and I, blessing and a curse. I'm an action taker. So I was taking a lot of imperfect action for the better part of a decade. And so a lot of wish I had known that you can title it better and you can actually add a thumbnail and you can get more people to find what you've got going on YouTube. But then, like you said, I switched it on him. I said, I'd love to, if you're okay with it, me to ask you questions about the future because like most of us, I'm open to learning. I realize I don't know it all and I want to do better. And so the quality over quantity is something going forward that you'll see on Matt the Mortgage Guy on YouTube. So if you're subscribed to Mike's channel, you're not subscribed to Matt the Mortgage Guy, please do me that favor and provide the feedback on what you think I can do better. But intentionality around it and then carving out enough time to make sure that, this YouTube channel and the stuff I'm doing on media is truly a small media company inside of the mortgage company. Because I told him, Mike, I love it. I really, really enjoy doing it. And then you get to meet some people that you've met and interacted with online who have maybe even become clients or you've helped them in some way or another. Like that's really, really cool.
It is. It is really, really cool. And just so you know, you probably not know this, but in the interview, Sean gave you 3 books to read. You sent me a text last night saying, hey, I'm already started reading one of the recommendations. Just so you know, I texted Sean that question and said he is an action taker. He's already reading one of the books. So good on you. I gave you some flowers with Sean yesterday. So
Thank you. Yeah, my 10-year-old son, he's got to read every night and he's got to write for school. And so I said, I'm going to read with you, kid. And so I laid down next to him. That's Who Not How. Buy
yeah.
Back Your Time is number 2.
Oh, look at you.
And 2X is number 3. I've got all 3 books, Mike. They were ordered. They were in my office waiting for me. So, Sean set can you read 3 books in 3 weeks? And I said, I can. If nothing else, I'm a man of my word. So I'm going to read all 3 books in the next 3 weeks.
Well, you keep giving me updates. I'll keep getting him to him.
All right.
The other thing I want people to realize is Sean Cannell is putting on an event called growwithvideolive.com in April. I will be there. I have paid for the high-end ticket. And yes, folks, I paid. I did not get it free. I paid just like everybody else. I don't do that. So I'm going to be there. Ty reached out, said he's coming. So folks, if you want to go to growwithvideolive.com, grow the Sean Media's thing in April, Dave Ramsey's going to be there. Pat Flynn, Charlene Johnson, John Vervey, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, and more coming. I'll be there. And he gave you guys a discount code, Zuber, Zuber, all uppercase. General admissions, call it 400 after discount 360. VIP is 1,000 after discount 900. So Sean said he loved our event in Vegas and he wanted to give a discount because a lot of people were asking. So go to the website, growwithvideolive.com, use the discount code Zuber, and I will see you there. Any closing thoughts?
I'm pretty sure I'll be there mid-April, like 16 to 18 or something in there.
Somewhere in there, like maybe the 22nd, something like that.
Okay.
22nd,
yeah. Once I get through the beginning of baseball season and basketball, and I've got the 3 most important people in my life, my wife and my 2 boys, all 3 birthdays within a 2-week period between February 23rd and March 12th. So once I get through that,
much better.
The schedule opens up and I can go do cool stuff with my friends.
Well, if anybody's from the One Rental at a Time community is going to the event, make sure you reach out to me because maybe we'll do a lunch or something depending on how many folks are coming. But yeah, we'll do something. I'd love to see the ORAT community there because I'm going to be in the audience. I'm not speaking. I'm going to be in the audience taking notes. So, Matt, you're amazing, man. Thank you for coming out. The audience loved you. I was very excited to see how many times you were quote unquote cornered and talking to someone. I'm like, I feel good. I feel good. You were a sponsor. So if people don't realize this, there were 5 sponsors who chipped in $1,000, so even more than the VIPs because it was important for them to be there. So thank you for helping with the cost. It was greatly appreciated. And we're going to do it again next year.
And no matter how much time, 20 hours over 2 days is spent, you still realize like, man, I didn't get to talk to Jenny. I wish I would have spent 15 minutes with Millennial Mike. There was it was impossible to talk to 300 people, all in that weekend. So I'm looking forward to future events, looking forward to connecting with those who I didn't get to connect with, or, only got 2 minutes with Dion, and phenomenal event. Can't wait till next year. Everybody was talking to me about it. Like, is Mike going to do it? You think he's going to do it? Can we do this next year? I'm like, he's got to. You can't hold an event like that where everybody loves it and just be like, one and done. See you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
I got to tell you, Friday, I was 50-50. And, you put a gun to my head Friday, I probably would have said no. Because it was a lot. It was a lot. And, but by Saturday night, the fact that I personally couldn't sleep was just an oddity. I'm like, well, shit. I guess I got to do it again because this is kind of fun. I had a blast. It was awesome. So we're doing it again. I'm only committing to 1 year at a time, though. 1 year at a time.
one rental at a time. One event at a time.
Yeah, just one event at a time. There you go.
Book.
There you go. All right, brother. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful week.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention greatmortgagebroker.com.
Oh, yes, of course.
A bunch of great people at the event, talk to me. Oh, we just closed one in Oregon, got one going in Alabama. I met someone who was a couple hours from me, shout out to Chris. We closed a deal in Northern California. So greatmortgagebroker.com, that connects you with the right person on my team. If we're the fit, if we're the one that can help, we'd be happy to get you pre-approved, get you ready, and help on that upfront process, which is doing the work.
Yeah, great. Greatmortgagebroker.com is a great friend of the channel. Again, he helped with the event. But also, if you're getting quotes from one of those body shops or call centers, I would definitely get a second opinion. Don't get taken advantage of. And Matt has said he would look at opportunities for you like that. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.